What's up, everybody? It's your boy T-Wit, and we are back at YouTube. It's been way too long, but this summer got away from me, focused on work, hang out with friends, all that stuff that a 20-year-old's supposed to do. Back at school, um, had a little bit of time today after my 4 hours of reading, so thought I'd talk about the Mr. Olympia. This video is going to be primarily about the 212 and who I think can win, and who I think won't win, and who I think should place top five, and who I think should not place at all. Maybe we might not get that deep. There's 15 guys, but so 212 Mr. Olympia. It's a very fun one for me to watch. I'm 5'4", and so is the rest of the crew. Well, the majority of it, I think Fletch is like 5'5". I know Charles Dixon's 5'3". You have a guy named I think Sean Clardia. That's how you say his last name. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I think he's like 5'2". But yeah, it's a great lineup. They're all short, and if I was to ever go into competitive bodybuilding, that would be the arena I'd do if I became pro. So it's fun for me to watch, and I'm excited because I think it's going to be a great show. The only thing is I don't think anybody's going to be able to beat Flex Lewis. I think Flex Lewis is unbeatable at this point. I saw a picture of him, what was it, 2 weeks out? So last week. And the dude is, I think it was like 217 there, I think is what people were saying. 217, 218. So he still has to diet down a little bit, so he's probably going to lose some fullness. But, symmetry's always there. He's got amazing, tremendous lines. Great symmetry, great detail in his back and everywhere else in the body, and he's always in shape. So he's an amazing bodybuilder, and I don't think anybody could beat him. Especially because this year the Mr. Olympia is changing the way they do their weigh-ins for the 212. The weigh-in is actually on Wednesday instead of Thursday, and that immensely benefits Flex. Flex Lewis is always trying to nail the 212. He's literally 211 or 210. He's barely at 212 every year, and this year, he's able to actually diet down and on Wednesday be under 212, and then actually has Thursday and the majority of Friday to carb up. So which means that he can be 212 pounds and insanely flat on Wednesday, and then actually probably be about 217 on Friday when the pre-judging starts. So I mean, he's probably going to gain those 5 pounds. So I mean, that immensely benefits for him, because it's really hard for him to get down, especially on a Thursday, because he's already started the carb up. So that plays with him a little bit. This extremely benefits him. Then you have a guy like Jose Raymond, who was second last year, and who I probably think is going to be second again this year. He's a mass monster, freaky, super dense vascular muscle, and I don't think anybody could beat him other than Flex, just because of the difference in their physiques. But you have like a guy like Jose, who is never struggled to get down to 212. I mean, he's 212 now. I mean, what was he? He said he could drop down to 212 at 2.5 weeks out. So it's definitely not hard for him to do. He's generally around 208 when he does the weigh-in, maybe 205, depending on where he is. And so he doesn't struggle with that. And he also doesn't need a lot of carbs to carb up. So the extra day to carb up isn't going to benefit him any, because he doesn't need it. He actually, during a little interview, was joking about how he hopes that Flex over carbs on that extra day, so that way he's maybe holding a little bit of water on Friday, which would definitely benefit him. But I think Flex and his coach Neil Hill are too smart to let that happen. But you never know. So with that being said, I think Flex definitely benefits from that, and I think it'll be really hard for anybody to actually beat him. I think he's too perfect. But Jose could do it. I think David Henry could do it too. David Henry's actually been a former 202 Mr. Olympia before they turned it to 212. And the dude's a freak. You look at his back, his shoulders and his chest. I mean, the dude is massive up top. His problem is his legs. Like he has no legs, no sweep on his quads, and it doesn't just give you that illusion that they're bigger than they actually are, which is what hurts him. I think when you stand him next to a Jose, a Flex, or even a guy Sister Nino, your legs just don't stand out, man. That's the only thing. So that's hard. But you never know. Like I said, he could totally come in and just be super on, and somebody could be off, and he could sneak in and win. I just think it's really hard for him to actually pull that together when he doesn't have that core body part that a lot of guys are looking for in a champion. But yeah, so you have those three. I think that's probably going to be the top three. I think Jose and David are interchangeable right now. I don't know what Jose is going to look like. Jose got married this year and had a 3-week long honeymoon, and he got fat. He also had a knee surgery. That didn't help him. And so trying to battle that and still compete at the Mr Olympia is really, really hard. But you never know. I mean, like right now, I mean, he looks like he's dialing in. His face looks sunken in, and I think Chris Aceto knows what he's doing. But will Jose be at his 100%? Will he beat last year? I don't think so. I think that's really hard to do when you have an off season like the way that he had. And I could be 100% wrong, but that's essentially what I think. I just don't see him actually being able to be better than last year, and that if the only way he's actually going to be able to beat Flex is if he's better than last year. So, we'll see. If he beats last year, then he has a chance to push Flex because he definitely pushed him last year. But I just don't see that happening. David Henry could, again, maybe he did bring up his legs the way he's saying he did. I don't think that's insanely possible, especially at his age. And when you don't have that much room to grow, when you're 209, it's really hard to put on those 3 pounds of muscle only in your legs, So if you're improving everywhere. You're not going to be able to put on that much weight on your legs and that much muscle, so. But maybe he did. Maybe he really, brought up his legs, and maybe he could, push both of them out of the winner's circle and beat him. I don't see that happening. But so I think that's the top three. I think it will go Flex, Jose, David, and then I think Eduardo Carrillo probably sneak in to be their fourth or fifth. I think Eduardo's a great 212 bodybuilder. I think he's got a weird looking physique. I think his waist, the way his waist and his back tie in is actually is weird, and it doesn't give him that great illusion for how wide his back is. At least from the front. From the back, it looks good, but from the front, it looks odd. And then I think Geiser Chanel could place in the top 5. I think he will. I think he's, the thing about him is he's been competing for a while, and he's been, competing well with these guys, but he's been a lot lighter. So he's had a lot more room to grow, and I think he probably will grow into this show. And if there's any indication to how he looked in New York, if he looks better than in New York, he'll definitely place in the top 5. I think he actually even beat Eduardo in New York. I could be wrong, but I think he did. But yeah, so I think that could be the top 5. You never know. Charles Dixon could squeeze in there if Charles really, really brings that conditioning and really has that detail in his back. I don't know if that's possible. I think it's really hard when you're 5'3" and you are as dense as he is and as heavy as he is. It's really hard to have that really clear separation between your muscles, just because they all kind of blend together. It's not his fault. It's just his structure. But so it's hard, at 5'3". But yeah, so I mean, it's going to be a great 212. I think it's a great lineup. It's a fun show to watch, even though you might like the freaks in the open, the guys like the Big Rammies and stuff like that. The difference is in the open, those guys aren't always in shape. They're not, a lot, especially last year. Last year, everybody was off, So if there's any indication that they could be off this year. The thing about the 212 is they have to be on, at least the top 6 and top 7 have to be on, because they're the ones that are so dialed in because of how heavy they were in the off season, and how light they are now compared. So they had to lose a lot of fat, and some of them sacrifice muscle. So they're always styled and always shredded, and that's what makes it interesting, is because you have to really nitpick. Like, honestly, Jose Raymond could have won the Mr. Olympia the past 4 years. He really could have, but, and so could David Henry. But the thing is they nitpick. You have to, you know, because David is great, Jose's great, but Flex just beats him a little bit here. His glute and hamstring tie is a little bit better. Oh, he's a little bit more separation in his shoulders. Oh, his detail in his back is a tad bit better than David's. These little tiny things that to us might not seem like big deals. It has to be a big deal for them because they're all in shape. They all are amazing bodybuilders. So I think that's what makes this particular part of the show so much fun to watch, because it's so close always. So yeah, I'm really excited for the show. I don't know if the 212s are doing a press conference this year. They didn't do one last year, so don't be looking for that, or be looking for that if there is one, and let me know. And if there is one, I'll let you know on Instagram or something. But I'm looking forward to it, because this Friday is going to be a great time to watch some bodybuilding, watch some Mr. Olympia, and it's going to be a fun show. So go watch it. It's on Amazon Sports Nutrition TV. They're broadcasting it live for all of us fans, and so watch it then. I don't know the exact time of the 212, so I'm not going to tell you, but I think it's closer to the afternoon and nighttime, and enjoy it, man. So that's it for this part. Oh, I didn't tell you I think it's going to go, sorry, getting ahead of myself. Winner Flex Lewis, second place Jose, third place David, fourth place Guy Cisternino. I'm taking a leap on that one, but I love the guy, and I think he's an amazing bodybuilder. And fifth will be Eduardo Correa. That's my top 5 guys. So there you have it. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button below, hit the like button below. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell everybody that you know that enjoys bodybuilding to subscribe. Do all that stuff, and continue to watch my videos. I really appreciate it. I'm glad I'm back. Keep a lookout. I'm going to do a open Mr. Olympia bodybuilding video here very soon. And yeah, I'll tell you all about that stuff. And then after the Mr. Olympia, I'll do a recap. So T-Flex Bodybuilding, T-Flex3_fitness at gmail.com if you have any questions. Comment below if you want to see anything interesting on my new videos. Go follow me on Instagram, which is T-Flex_bodybuilding. This is T-Flex Fitness signing out. Peace, guys.